Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video. This is my second video. I'm doing this one from work. I mentioned I have a pretty normal job, but the only thing not normal about it is my hours. I work European hours. I'm the one guy that comes in the office at about 5 in the morning, so I'm here by myself for a while. So it's great though. I love it. It's nice. But anyway, this is from DC. Wonder Woman, Justice League Dark, The Witching Hour. This is the first part of, I think it's 5 books they're doing weekly in October, kind of, I guess, a Halloween type event. But anyway, I think this is 48 pages, $4.99, always annoying, but it is big, it's thick. So, first thing, before I go anywhere, the paper. I love the paper here. I'm pointing this out because a couple weeks ago, Amazing Spider-Man number 5, I think. I'm going to call you out, Marvel. The paper was just absolute trash. The cover was wrinkling because the paper was so thin. The cover felt like it was thinner than the interior pages. So this is good. The paper in here, you'll notice as I'm flipping through, it's not glossy. It's not newsprint, obviously, but it's kind of this matte finish. And DC's used it on a couple other things. I know we haven't gone over my pull list, but I've got Superman and Action Comics, and I think they've been using this paper on Superman, actually. But I love the paper. I think that, you know, this should be the standard. But anyway, I have been following Justice League Dark. When I got back into comics here recently, this was relaunching the Dark, and it was one that I jumped on, along with Justice League, which I dropped Justice League. It was getting a little... I wasn't following what was going on, but Justice League Dark's been fun. It's got Wonder Woman. I don't know a whole lot about Wonder Woman. Everybody knows who she is, but I don't know a whole lot about her, so it was an opportunity for me to check out some characters I'm not super familiar with, and kind of, you know, get the magic side of things, and that's the whole point. So here's our creators, point them out real quick. We'll just flip through a little bit and see what we get into. So starts out, if you've been reading Justice League Dark, they're kind of revisiting Diana's past, basically saying that she had an encounter of some kind when she was a kid, and they go through some of that here. I love the art in this book. The art and the color is just great. And we flip through, and then, you know, Diana and her mom confront these witches that she had this encounter with, and she's questioning them and threatening them, and then this goddess rather, and she kind of reprimands, it looks like, the witches, but she also like memory wipes. I don't know if you see here, she whispers something to Diana's mom, but kind of memory wipes her, and so I guess she's not supposed to remember this at all, and so you don't know that this ever happened, and you find out about it in this story, and it was kind of alluded to in Justice League Dark a couple issues ago. Then we get back to now, the Hall of Justice. I love this shot. I love the Justice League. I wish I could have gotten into Justice League with the new relaunch, but man, they were just losing me. But anyway, I get a little dose of it here, so that's good. They're trying to understand what's been going on. Diana's explaining what's been happening in the Justice League Dark series to the League, and that they're kind of, you know, highlighting this guy, the Upside Down Man, and really cool story in the Dark series. Really creepy if you're into kind of horror or anything like that. I kind of liken it to kind of the Call of Cthulhu or something like that, with kind of the beings they're dealing with. It's kind of interesting. Kind of cosmic but magical, I guess. And then, you know, again, they're just recounting the story here, and they're going to try to figure out what they want to do, and they kind of dismiss everybody, except they ask Zatanna to stick behind, and they want her to give more insight, I think, but she doesn't. But anyway, here they are, they're talking after everybody's left, and again, here's those kind of that whispering, right? And it actually says something. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I won't spoil it. It's not that big of a deal, but I thought it was kind of neat. When I first saw this on the other page, I didn't realize that it actually said something. I've got pretty good eyesight, but I had to get really close to figure out what they were talking about. So yeah, and then they fast forward to this. There's apparently a meeting of witches. They're having this meeting, and they're doing it at, I forget the name of the bar, and I'm not gonna read through here to find the name of the bar, but you can see I'm a novice in some of this stuff, but they're having this meeting, and I'm not about the pentagrams and stuff, the symbology in here, and it's becoming, I guess it makes sense, these are witches, whatever, we're not gonna harp on it, but there's this whole scene, and this is something I can point out. So this character here, Rebecca Carstairs, apparently she's a known character, right? And I have no clue who she is, and what do they call her, Witchfire? And again, ignorant. I'm just ignorant, and I don't know everything. And so when they introduce someone like this, and you can kind of tell that maybe people are supposed to know who she is. I have no clue. Maybe you guys can help me out in the comments or something. But she's kind of had a similar experience as Diana, and you see this transformation, and man, it's crazy. The art's crazy. And then there's this scene. It's pretty horrific, and we get to back to the Hall of Justice. You got Swamp Thing here. Swamp Thing's interesting. Again, another character kind of from my childhood, from the cartoon. Never read the comics, but I watched the cartoon, and I loved it. Thought it was neat. I should I plan on going back maybe for Christmas, getting some paperbacks of Swamp Thing stuff from Alan Moore or something, and catching up on it. But I think he's a neat character, and he has kind of a funny interaction here with Detective Chimp and the Man-Bat, and they're all talking again. There's a lot of talking in here, which is fine. I think not every comic's going to be super action packed, but I like the dialogue. At one point I thought, man, this is a little wordy, but it was good. I like the writing in it. I think it moves forward, and it's good, and it had me intrigued, and I was sitting on my bed reading it, and I was engrossed. So again, she's remembering this incident, and this is a beautiful shot here. There's a lot of great art in here, and I think this paper helps. The paper not having all that gloss everywhere. I mean, you can see maybe a little bit from these stupid fluorescent lights, but if you pick this up in the shop and flip through it, you'll know what I'm talking about if you haven't seen this stuff already. Kudos to DC with these books that are using this stuff on. And then you get another good 2-page spread with the League, and Detective Chimp's trying to get their attention and trying to get their help, and they're kind of blowing him off, I guess. But so they make an escape, and this is where I'm going to stop. I don't want to go any further. There's maybe a little bit of a spoiler for people that are into a couple of these characters, but I'm not gonna spoil it. This is really neat. I like it. Like I said, I've liked the Justice League Dark. If I have to critique something, my wife called me out in my Dick Tracy video for not critiquing something. I have to offer some criticism. I think the one thing about this story that kind of bothers me, and this is fundamental, so I don't know if this could even exist if this were not the case, but I've always, I don't like rewriting a character's history necessarily. I mean, we're talking about her childhood, right? I mean, this is a fundamental rewriting of how she developed and what her powers are, and I just don't know if I'm about it. But hey, change is progress, and what have you. But anyway, it's fun. She's not a super important character to me, so rewriting some of the canon is not that big of a deal. I mean, if it was somebody else. But at the same time, you know, sometimes you got to do that to do something new. But yeah, not a lot of action in here, I guess, would be another thing. But that's not too bad for a lot of people. But anyway, again, if you've been following Justice League Dark, check it out, obviously. I think that a couple of the Justice League Dark issues are going to follow this up, so you kind of need to. But you can jump in if you're not following it, if you want kind of a neat like Halloween story for October, something to kind of be a little creepy. It's an option. But anyway, thanks for checking out this video. Thanks for clicking on it, and if you have any comments about anything, let me know in the comments below. Thanks.